Well, I'm back again for my annual shrimp boil. We do this every fall. We do crawfish in the springtime, and today I'm doing things a little different, gonna mix it up a little bit. I got Mr. Robert LePere from the Boil Boss Company. He is the owner of the Boil Boss, straight out of New Orleans. I figured it'd be a good idea just to let him roll with this, put his own spin to it, and maybe I can pick up some things I haven't done in the past on a shrimp boil, and maybe you can learn something as well. And we will be using his Boil Boss. I know you've seen me use it in the past. He's also got another product that he's going to introduce. Let me show you a brand new product that they are coming out with. This video is the first time anybody has seen this. Anybody. It's just now being introduced. Yep. This is not just a typical paddle. This is a thermometer that runs from right here. That's the tip of it where it needs to be, all the way down the length of this handle. And there on the end is the actual thermometer. Robert will be showing the benefits of this and why they came out with this later on in the video. But so you know, we're going to be doing a giveaway. I'll have all the instructions for that giveaway on one of these paddles to one lucky person. I'll have all the information you need to know in the description box below this video. Got any words before we get started?
No, let's get started. I'm ready.
All right, let's do it.
All right, guys, Robert LePere from the Boil Boss. Russ introduced me a minute ago, but we're gonna get started on the shrimp boil. So we've gone ahead, we've put about, say, 8-9 gallons of water in here. So we're gonna start adding ingredients. But before that, really the purpose of this video is to show you guys my twist on boiling shrimp, very similar to Russ's. We're gonna show you how we tie in both the Boil Boss and our latest product, the Boil Boss paddle. We've gone ahead and built in an integrated thermometer. And if you stick along to the end of the video, during the soaking process, you'll see just why this is really important for your boil. While temperature in particular is one of the most important things to pay attention to during a boil. So let's get started. All right, our water is at a boil, so we're gonna start adding our ingredients. We're gonna start with our seasoning first.
Okay, man.
Let's get it going. We are using Cajunland today. It's pretty good stuff. Really, choice is yours. Pick your favorite. I tend to pick one and stick with it just so I can kind of perfect the recipe. We're gonna put all of it in here. Next thing to go in the pot is gonna be our celery. Add that. We're putting 2 stalks of celery in this. We're gonna be adding some garlic. On the garlic, we just cut the tops off to expose the garlic in the center. Don't worry about peeling them. It's pretty much just gonna disintegrate. So we're gonna dump that in.
Yeah, you can't get too much garlic. How many heads you got there? About 10 heads?
I think we've got about 10 heads of garlic.
Yeah.
Sorry. Next thing we're putting in is going to be some sweet onions. So I think they're Vidalia onions.
Yeah, that's what it looks like.
Yeah, these go real great with shrimp boils. Super spicy. You cook them just right, and they're just delicious.
Has a fantastic flavor to a boil.
So I just have them, just like the garlic. Don't worry about peeling it off. Some people get scared about it,
Yeah,
but
when
it's not a
all
problem.
said and done, you will not even see that in the pot. It's like it just disappears.
Exactly. All right, next thing we're putting in is gonna be a little bit of cayenne pepper and some liquid crab oil. We're using the Zatarain shrimp and crab oil, garlic and onion. And on the cayenne, I'm gonna loosely say a couple tablespoons.
There you go.
That could end
You're
up
not gonna hurt my feelings,
a little
man.
bit more or less, depending. All right. I'm gonna put half of this 8-ounce jar in here just because we're not in a pot as big as we usually are. And this stuff can, in my opinion, overtake a lot of the other ingredients we add. Normally I would, or people would add their citrus at this stage, but what we've learned over the years is that if you add it now, a lot of that citrus flavor gets boiled out because you've got, a few minutes of this simmering. You got probably 20 minutes before you go to a soak. So I'll wait till the end, and I'll show you guys exactly how we do that and how we time it when we use the Boil Boss. But for now, we're just gonna let this stuff come to a boil, back to a boil, and cook down for 10-15 minutes. Make sure the garlic's getting soft, that the onions are breaking down, that you really have a nice stock by the time we add our shrimp, that everything's kind of come together. All right, all the ingredients you saw us add a few minutes ago have been boiling, say about 10 minutes. We're gonna add our potatoes next. These are the little red potatoes. They're gonna take the longest to cook, so add them now. Be careful when you add these. Try and get as close to the water as possible. Have hot water splashed up in your face.
Back in your face.
Yeah,
Yeah, that ain't fun.
We'll do those.
Awesome.
We're gonna put this lid back on. All right, guys, next in, we're gonna be adding some corn. This is the second longest to cook. We're not using frozen corn, this is raw, so go ahead and add that now. Try not to get burned. Awesome. Go probably another 5-7 minutes, and then we're gonna add our mushrooms and sausage. And then it's gonna be time for shrimp.
Sounds good to me.
All right, guys, next thing we are putting in mushrooms and sausage. This smoked sausage, it's already cooked. Just gonna heat it up a little bit.
Smoked pork sausage, man. It ain't a boil without it.
That steam will get you.
Yeah, that steam will get you every time. And those mushrooms, man, that is a must for me.
Absolutely. What do you call them? Flavor bombs?
Flavor bombs. That's it. So it's party time, huh?
Yep, we got, what, everything cooking?
Ooh, yeah.
How those mushrooms look?
Man, that smells good.
Yeah, so everything's been cooking. Everything looks right. We're going to add the shrimp now. This is the most critical part of the boil because these guys are super delicate. You cook them too long, you'll ruin them. So we're going to kind of walk you through what we look for at this stage. So I would say first tip, make sure your water is as hot as it can be at a boil when you add your shrimp.
Right.
Because once we dump these, we're going to try and get the temp back up as quickly as possible. How many pounds is this, Russ?
20 pounds.
All right, now we're going to turn the fire all the way up.
Put that lid back on.
Yep.
And it shouldn't take more than about 60 seconds. If we get any kind of boil, we can call it good.
So what you want to be looking for in a minute, once we let the water heat up, is a couple things. The shape of the shrimp, when they start to curl into a circle, you know they're cooking nicely. And then probably more importantly is the color.
Right.
That pink color.
Pink. I've always said, and I think I got this from Emerald Lagasse years ago, a shrimp has a built-in thermometer. He lets you know when he's ready.
I didn't think about it that way. But yeah, once they turn that pink and they're circular, they're really close to being done, and that's when it's time to cool them off, which we're going to show you in a sec.
Yep, awesome.
All right, guys, these have been at, not a boil, but they've been on a fire for maybe 2 minutes, but we're looking at them, and they're looking pink and pretty much cooked. So we're going to turn it off just to be safe.
Just starting to get a little boil there.
Yeah, just because we turn the fire off too doesn't mean they're not still cooking. So what we're gonna do now is cool them off and add our citrus, and we're gonna do it with the Boil Boss. So
okay, you
let's
want
get
the
it.
Boil Boss on first. Okay.
Yep, we're gonna get it on. Like always, guys, the way to put this guy on, keep the brackets flat, let it adjust itself. Sometimes the hose, you gotta get that out of the way. And we're gonna turn it on. We ready to go?
Yeah.
So as this cools down, I'm gonna have Russ squeeze. We got lemons and oranges. Squeeze those in. And the idea is as the liquid cools down and the shrimp begin to contract the seasoning, they're gonna start to suck up a lot of that citrus flavor as well. All right. And so with the paddle, I'm just monitoring the temperature. And so the target temperature that we're looking for is 150. And to talk a little bit about our new product, what's so important about this is you gotta stir and you gotta watch the temperature. And so we'll just show you kind of how this guy looks. So let's stir. So the key to the Boil Boss is agitating water, but also the key is making sure you hit the right temperature. All right, we're coming down, we're at 170 degrees.
Wow, that was fast.
Yeah.
I mean, that was real fast. Well, let me ask you this. If you have a pot, let's say twice this big, twice the volume, will it cool down at the same rate?
Yeah, it's pretty much proportional. Not to get too scientific and nerdy.
Because of the
surface area of the pot. Yep. So bigger pots have more surface area.
And becomes a heat exchanger and removes that much more heat. Gotcha.
Exactly.
I understand that. I totally get it. I used to do refrigeration work, so I totally get that.
Yeah, no, it's, one of the reasons why we came up with the paddle is because one of the biggest points of feedback we had from customers of the Boil Boss was that they were overcooling their boils. They were leaving the Boil Boss on for 10 minutes, right? And the water was 100 degrees, so they didn't know what temperature it was.
Right.
And so we wanted to come up with a tool that was going to be useful, but that could really teach people about temperature and what was going on when they boil.
Gotcha.
Because this really is the most important variable when you boil.
So the target to where they just stopped cooking is what, 150 thereabouts?
Yeah, we're 150, 155.
Right.
On our thermometer, we have it segmented out by color. So red zone on this dial, you're in the cook zone.
Gotcha.
Green, we have between 145 and 160, which is kind of a little bit wide, is when they're soaking.
I got you. Now once, what are you now?
All right, we're good. We're gonna turn it off. We're at 150.
Oh man, God.
I was talking to you earlier, mentioning how a lot of the barbecue guys are super particular about temperature, right? They spend all this money on their ingredients and they have probes sticking everywhere. They understand exactly what's going on.
Right.
You know, what we're trying to do is get the boiler to be that particular about their process. We've spent a bunch of money on today's boil.
Oh yeah.
And the idea of doing this and kind of winging it temperature-wise seems wrong to me.
It's a fine line on overcooking shrimp or undercooking shrimp. You know, I mean, it's a fine line, and so you have got to go by temperature and looks as well.
Some people may be looking at the citrus thinking we're going overboard, but
no.
I promise you, this stuff
that gives it that pop, man. And I, if nothing else, man, what you show me today different from what I do. Adding it in at the end during the soaking stage, that's something I've never done, but it makes, there again, perfect sense.
Yep.
All right, so we're just going to sit here and soak, and yeah, man, you're way down there now. What's that, 145?
Yeah.
Thereabouts?
Yep, give or take.
Cool.
All right.
Man, what a cool product. All right, we've been soaking roughly 25, maybe 30 minutes. We've just been over here talking, kind of lost track of time. You can't hurt them at this point. They stopped cooking a long time ago. What we're going to do is pick them up.
You can grab that.
We're going to drain them.
Go ahead. Put it just like that.
Okay. By the way, this notch right here, talking about thinking ahead, that is for exactly what you just seen, for lifting your basket out. And you were saying something earlier about it could be a one-man operation.
Well, one of the problems when you try to use the basket, a normal paddle to lift a basket, is if the person on the other side lifts it higher than you, the whole basket comes sliding into your hands.
Okay.
And bust your knuckles.
Right.
This little notch keeps the basket captivated, so it's not going anywhere.
Okay, cool.
Yep.
So we're gonna let these drain for about a minute, just get all the water out of them. Just about there now. From here, they're gonna be dumped into the ice chest. We're gonna go over here and do a taste test, and we'll be back here in a few minutes. Boy, these flies are loving this. All right, so I ain't gonna lie, as you can see, well, we're fighting off flies, but we have already been eating on these, man. These are fantastic.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah, man. Oh man. That is so good. There's very few things that I like more than boiled shrimp, if anything. I absolutely love them. Now let me show you my favorite way. Let me get a bigger one here. Here we go. Here's a nice big boy. Let's take his head off. Peeling's coming right off, as you can see. So to me, this is the ultimate way to eat boiled shrimp. This is something I've been doing since I was a little bitty boy. I take a saltine cracker. Now it can't be any other cracker. You can't use a Ritz or any of that other junk out there. It's got to be saltine, man. This just screams good Southern eating, in my opinion. They've been around a lot longer than me. But anyway, you take your saltine cracker, you take your shrimp, You've got cocktail sauce. You dredge it through your cocktail sauce. You take just a little dash or two of some Louisiana hot sauce. Put it right there, maybe 2 drops down the hatch.
These are pretty good. Hard to beat.
I kid you not. When all this is said and done, those shrimp would go in the refrigerator and they're just gonna chill out. I like shrimp warm or cold. And I will belly up to my table. I will have a big old platter. I will sit there literally for an hour just eating shrimp with these crackers. Cocktail sauce, hot sauce, cold beer. To me, it just don't get no better than that, man.
Nope.
So I tell you what, man, a fantastic cook. The shrimp peeled easy, fantastic flavor. They're not mushy. They're not rubbery. They're just absolutely fantastic, great flavor. I appreciate you coming out here and doing this. Oh, absolutely, no problem. I hope y'all enjoyed the video. Until next time, Smoky Ribs.